If I was rich enough that I could like lobby against basically like any other major company, like I could lobby against like oil companies and I could lobby against like automotive companies because I'm that rich, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm attacking the civil infrastructure of the country because it is just set up bad. Thing I'm doing, I'm ripping up all the major highways in America. I'm getting slime mold. I'm putting proteins on all of the places that we need connected, like all the places that these roads are supposed to lead to. And I'm saying, hey, figure out the most efficient route, because what's great about slime mold is it puts multiple branches to the same location to make sure the slime mold would still survive if one branch was closed down. So if a road gets shut down, you're still gonna get to work efficiently. Look at that. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with the national train system. They gotta be bullet trains. I wanna be able to have trains that are so fast that I can wake up in Big Sky, Montana, get brunch in Dallas, Texas. No more asphalt roads. They're terrible. With weather changes, they crack. That's why they're constantly having to maintain them. No, we're not doing that anymore. Actually, we're using recycled rubber, mainly from like tires, because as it gets hotter and colder, it can expand and condense to accommodate that. Way lower maintenance required. At every single intersection, there's gonna be little pumps on the road that when you run them over, not only does it prevent you from speeding a ton through the intersections, speed bump going up, but it actually generates energy. So, you know, we're getting energy every single time somebody's passing through any intersection anywhere. Way more recycling. And that's gonna directly save you a ton of money on AC bills, because in places that have high concentrations of asphalt, like New York City, it absorbs sun through the day and it radiates it outward at nighttime. So it makes your AC bill a lot higher. It's a huge net negative. We're gonna try and make that a net neutral, if not a net positive. Then everything around the roadways, like any overpasses, any walls that are supposed to like temper sound for neighborhoods nearby, we're putting vines on all of that because we want to be absorbing all of this gross stuff coming out of cars and get the process going. It's also just going to be nicer. It's going to be more aesthetically pleasing. It's going to make us feel happier overall. And all the people who would have been maintaining the asphalt, now you're going to be maintaining these vines. Get into corporate taxes. I'll use Amazon for an example. They're disproportionately wearing down the road. So relative to that, we create a ratio between corporations and how much they're using civil infrastructure, and they directly have to pay to counteract whatever damage they're doing to that civil infrastructure. You might be looking at this and thinking, okay, they only make up 1.3% of all vehicles on the highways at any given day. That doesn't really seem like much. Oh, but it is. FHWA's 2023 highway statistic, the most recent one that I could find, but anyway, it came out to 214.8 billion in highway disbursements nationwide. If you have these companies pay a tax based on that percentage, Amazon's paying 2.79 billion a year in taxes just associated with the highway. Same things with planes. We're making airlines, they're no longer private, they're government run, and like FedEx, Amazon, all these other shipping companies that fly more planes than anybody else, cool. You're now making air travel extremely cheap for citizens, because for every single plane that you fly, you're directly paying a tax on that. And so we can start treating planes like they're buses and hopefully get some better seats. High rises, skyscrapers, all of those windows, they're gonna be see-through solar cells now. They're not as good as like a standard solar panel, but they're still better than just straight glass. Top of any corporate building or any like development or anything like that, you have to have the whole roof be solar panels now. You have to have the whole roof covered in solar panels. And in situations wherein it's safe and it makes sense, we're gonna be putting little keyhole wind turbines in the center of those skyscrapers so that they can generate energy, and on the top of them if it's safe and again if it makes sense. These kind of urban settings, they have a lot of wind whipping through. It seems like a real waste of a wind opportunity to create some energy. I could go on. I can literally do this for hours.